Hi and welcome back to Deep Dive, the podcast where we go beyond the surface to explore faith with deeper understanding and purpose. This podcast is from MBC, Mooroolbark Baptist Church, and I, John, have the privilege of being the lead pastor here. Over the last couple of episodes, we've been exploring a little bit about church membership. We've explored what church membership is, why it matters, what it looks like to be a church member. And today I'm going to continue talking about church membership, but briefly talk about what it looks like to take a step into membership, what the process looks like and why it is something we should actually be celebrating. A couple of episodes ago, I spoke of how church membership is not just a formality, it's a step of commitment into a spiritual family. Sure, it comes with responsibilities and opportunities, things like having a vote within our congregational meetings, but it really is committing to a particular local church or local congregation. And in this case, we're talking about MBC, Mooroolbark Baptist. And perhaps it's worth thinking about like a wedding, perhaps. A couple may love each other, but there's something meaningful about standing before others, speaking of that love that they have for one another, and then committing and making promises to one another and doing so in celebration. I mean, if a wedding isn't a celebration, then it becomes quite a worthless and meaningless event. In the same way, membership is saying, this is my church home, I belong here, I'm committed to growing, to serving, and being part of this community. And we're bound together in unity, in love, in faithfulness to one another. So if you've been attending MBC for a little while, or perhaps you're listening and you go to another Baptist church, and I say a Baptist church because the process that I'm going to outline here is mostly relevant to a Baptist church or a non-denominational church that might have what we call congregational governance, then let's get into some of the nitty-gritty of that process of becoming a member. At MBC, we want to make the membership process be simple, be meaningful, and easy to remember. And so we break it down into three particular steps. 1, to commit, 2, to connect, and 3, to celebrate. I hope they will make sense by the time I have explained them. But firstly, to commit. Church membership is first and foremost about following Jesus. If you haven't yet committed your life to Jesus or decided to follow him yourself, then, well, that's the first step. First, commit to following Jesus. Believe in him. Understand the good news of salvation that is there for you, offered to you from him. The forgiveness of sin, the hope of new life, the glory of eternal life to come. Following your commitment to Jesus is then getting baptized. It's overwhelming in the New Testament that following Jesus and being baptized or publicly declaring your faith towards others, that goes hand in hand. At MBC, we hold to what is known as believers' baptism. That is, those who have been baptized as a believer upon following Jesus are then able to step into church membership. And in our next episode, I'll speak more into the connection between baptism and membership. But we'd love to talk to you about baptism if that is of interest to you, which I really hope it is if you've committed to following Jesus. Anyway, then within the commitment here, it's helpful to think about membership and mission as well, to commit to who we are as a church and be part of what we're doing in our local community and beyond. So that's the first bit, commit. The second bit is to connect. So I'd encourage anyone considering membership to have a look through a little document we have called Explore Membership. To meet with me or another leader in the church, or if there's so many people wanting to become members at one time, to talk through it in a session together about membership. And a session like this would really look at what it is to know Jesus, to grow in him, to show him to the world, what it is we believe as a church and some of the things that we hold to, how we operate and make decisions as a congregation, as a church, and then look at opportunities to grow and to serve and to get involved. This session would be very relaxed and interactive, and a great space to ask questions. So we've got commit, and we've got connect, and thirdly, we've got celebrate. After attending, let's say, an Explore membership session or having a conversation with myself or other leaders in the church, then you'll have a more formal, I suppose, conversation with a couple of other members in the church to share your testimony, share your journey of faith and how you have got to where you are in your walk with Jesus. And it's also a chance to talk further about involvement or any questions you might have. Post that little that conversation or meeting, those who met with you will bring a recommendation to one of our church meetings and share a little bit about you, about your faith and how you've grown in God. And we then, as a whole church, welcome you into membership and affirm your membership at a formal church meeting. After this is done, you'd expect to have a call from me or one of the other pastors welcoming you into the church. As well as this, we'd take the time to welcome you in as a member at our Sunday morning service, a great celebration for you, a great celebration for the church, and a great encouragement to everyone there. And so that's really the process, to commit, to connect, and then to celebrate. And I personally think it's certainly something to celebrate. Some people might wonder in this day and age why we would make such a deal about membership. But there's good reasons why, and there's good reasons worth celebrating. I hope I've articulated myself well over the last couple of episodes to emphasise the need or the helpfulness of membership within the local church, and indeed I think it's rather biblical too. But in terms of worth celebrating something like this, it strengthens our community. Each member of our church adds to our church family and brings their gifts and experiences to help us all and enrich us all. It reflects God's design for the church. I've spoken about membership in these last two episodes, but God's plan is for believers to grow together, and you do that together in a church. It deepens commitment to spiritual growth and growing in Jesus. Taking that step towards church membership is really saying, I'm serious about my walk with Jesus and my role in his church, which, of course, he established thousands of years ago. And then it's also like similar to baptism, where you declare your faith. Membership is also a declaration of belonging, that you are committed to a particular place at a particular time, to a local church. Well, after membership, it's not just sort of once you become a member, that's the end of it, right? Not in a church setting, of course. It's not like you pay your footy membership and then you get your card and you get access to go to all the games. You I suppose, technically already have access to every Sunday morning service and other parts of church life just by being involved. But becoming a member is really just a beginning. It's the beginning of being part of God's family here at Mirrabah. And from here on, you can build relationships through small groups, through our Sunday services, through serving in ministry, through praying for the church, through giving faithfully to the work that goes on here, and being engaged in the worship and the ministries that we do here. So if you're ready to take that step, perhaps, I'd love to talk with you, share with you and talk more about what it means to be a member here at MBC. It'd be great to chat through, perhaps in an Explore membership session, the way in which you can be part of what God is doing here at MBC too. But thanks again for joining me here as we've continued to deep dive into church membership. There's one more episode on church membership, and look forward to sharing that with you in due course. But I hope it's made you think of a couple of extra things you might have not thought about before in regards to membership of your local church. And, in any case, I pray that you have a good week, and I shall talk to you next time. Thanks very much.